little technical difficulties, but if we have it sorted out at the start of the game, we won't have to deal with it later on anymore. That's pretty nice. We will have one little cut here, but I can try to keep a lookout for it, so we will be dealing with it as soon as possible. So, just right now we are on Darkosin's side again, just playing the clan of the Stag right here, with Zeus going the clan of the Bear. Definitely quite a different combo right here, like we saw in the first game. Really neat that we get to see different clans right here, and not the same combo again and again. That's really cool, really gotta appreciate that. And we see Zeus and Darkosin really rushing that mid, man. They really want it. Like, I can imagine when you are the Stag player, how interested you are actually in getting that middleman, getting this 200 fame bonus. Early is just great, like you're so easily gonna get up there. I am also talking a little bit on chat about the middle run. I think Venreal is actually not that interested in the middle, but they're definitely also going quite hard, sending all the scouts out, and the middle will be going to Venreal. Yikes! The Stag doesn't get it, even though he would really like to have it. Like Stag Clan, like I said, the bonus that you get out of your Fane is just so insane, and if you can get that a little bit earlier, that's just so much worth. But we'll not be getting the middle here, we'll be going to Venreal. GG on the Fame race here for Kami and Venreal. Therefore, definitely not even getting yourself that much better of a start. Like, I don't know how high of value the upgrades for horse are actually on 200. They are definitely there and they are worth a bit, but they are not like super crazy like they would be for the Stag. But you really brought your opponent out of sync, and we already learned in the finals of the lower bracket how important that can actually be. Let's just jump to the mid here. To the mid here, looking at Kami and Venreal. Kami going with the clan of the Snake right here. This clan that we really didn't saw that often in the tournament, and I really see them still have one of the strongest clans in aggression, but I'm not 100% sure how high the ban rate on that clan were actually, but the play rate on the Snake were definitely not nearly as high as I would have expected. But Kami running them here, seeming to believe in them, seeming to believing in the power of Signy, the power of the Snake. It's definitely a powerful clan in my opinion, and I feel like he's gonna be able to do a lot here with all the different bonuses you can get from the Snake clan. Other than that, not too crazy, nothing too crazy happening here with the clearing. I don't know if he will actually be building a war camp right here, or if he will just do everything with Signy. He may just be waiting. No! He is not. He's building the skirmisher camp right now and going for skirms. I oftentimes think about if I actually go skirm clearing or warrior clearing at the start of the game with Snake, but Kami also seems to be a friend of the skirm clearing. One of the cool things is you can definitely just pass over into the tiles of your teammates, even though there are like big creatures between that might make it hard with warriors, or like you just have a double tile and couldn't actually run over. Like 2 creature tiles that you couldn't jump over just like that. With the skirmishers there's not a problem, and they're a little bit cheaper than warriors, but therefore of course also not as good against wolves, so they're not gonna be good as warriors when you go against wolves. Well, I don't know if you can micro them in some way where you make them worth a little more. Actually clearing out the wolf with Signy here. Okay. Oh yeah, on huge maps I would definitely also wait a little bit longer, because sometimes it can take really a huge time, but if you're in the loading screen already, the chance that you will be connecting to the game is actually quite high. So clearing out the draugrs around there. I don't even think that were that much of a necessity. Maybe Venreal wants to have a very early 200. Because he's definitely on the way of getting that. Like getting the middle already, now a Draugr and Tomb. This is just 100 fame out of nowhere. Like, nowhere. And also gets the tile on top there, so 70 basically for this tile. That just sets him in the front quite a bit, man. It's really good. Oh yeah, you know, here the other side also clearing. The bear came out. That's just the power of the bear clan. In the early game you don't really need to think about what to clear out everything. On the horse it definitely throws you back a little bit because you're war chief. Would be cool if you would be doing different things, like mining iron, maybe forging something. Like war chiefs have a lot to do these days. It's not just like playing towers against wolf anymore. You have a lot of things to do as a war chief in 2020. But as the bear really doesn't make any problem there. Like you can just run around in the end. Oftentimes player will still sacrifice them. I personally not that much of a fan of that anymore. Since the bear just got that expensive, and the 200 fame usually hits fairly early where you could maybe use the bear still, but we might still see Zeus sacrificing the bear here. I'm not 100% sure. It's just me personally, I don't like it all too much anymore. Like, Kaja get really expensive. Oh yeah. Yeah, 4v4 is always really... it's a pickle. But just have a little bit of patience when loading in, so you don't drop out of games that might have actually happened. Yeah. Would be my advice there. Let's see. We have another camp going up. Dark Cuisine there in the pretty early game. And okay. Okay. I feel a rush. Rushes in the air. 800, rushes in the air. Holy, that's a lot of camps, yeah. He's closing in on 200 fame, Dark Cuisine, I mean. Therefore, he will be getting 100 food, 100 wood, and 150 food, 150 wood, and 150 gold. On top of that, he will also be getting 10 stone, what will enable him to upgrade the scout camp right away. So 10 stone for upgrading the town hall, and then 5 stone he mined to go for the scout camp. Then he can go straight for scouting, most likely getting army and running in right away. This will be an 800 rush. First winter. Yeah, Stag Clan, a little bit an out-of-the-box pick right here, because the Stag Clan not really seen as one of the strongest clans in the meta right now, but it seems to be a really strong go right here, right? Hitting somebody in 800, that should be hurtful, definitely. I don't know if Kami and Venril will be ready for something like this, while the Stag Clan, I guess in higher level games, is definitely known for something like this, so I could imagine that they actually expect them attacking at this point, but in the tournament and in the grand final of the second round, you might not be expecting such an aggressive strategy and rather something more subtle, where like you're not so all in, right? Like this attack really has to work out for them, otherwise they have a little bit of a problem throughout the rest of the next game, because they will lose a lot of tempo here. Like, if they're not able to kill a player, they need to do substantial damage. Like, one player must really get hit, otherwise he doesn't, like, they won't be doing enough and will just get overrolled by the eco that comes afterwards. You can see they didn't focus on anything else. We have 7 army for Dark Cuisine here. I think even 8 army for Zeus. Not even chiefs. No chiefs in there. You can't get iron in 800. That will be pretty hard. And going straight for the next. Venreal already built a tower. That will help a lot. Having a tower at that early times against the rush is definitely still worth a lot. Later on in the game, it's not just gonna be enough army to make something work there. It's also positioning a warrior on the far side. Might actually... He sends a lot of warriors after that. No upgrades here for anyone. So they try to get the tower down. Will they? Yeah, they will be able to get the tower down before the fight really starts. This is really worth a lot. Getting... the fight is really hard to say. I would say that Cammy and Ven will have the defender's advantage. I see a lot of yellow bars there, so... It seems like this rush is not really working out, huh? It seems like this is not really working out. Now we have, yeah, definitely the armies of Dark Christine and Zeus is gone right here. He's now microing around in Venreal's tile a bit, because as long as you have like a fight going on in your tile, and as long as warriors in your tile you are fighting there, you will definitely have big problems of repopping. Like your villagers are not going to come right back. Now let's see what is happening here. We had Cammy pulling in quite a few villagers here. Like, he's down to 7 pop. He weren't that high before also, so it's not like he lost that many. I think he was trying to make Ven... Oh yeah, that could also be true. You could definitely also just let him straight up starve. Like, I usually when I try to block somebody in the main tile, I think about not having them, like, the villagers will not pop out, like the bar will also stop. You will not even not get the villagers. Like, if you are at 50% for the next will, you will be stuck at 50% as long as you're in the main tile. But obviously, right, he were also having his main part of his pop there in this main tile, so he could easily have made Venreal starve right there. That's actually right. Now we are going right in. He will start healing now his Signy. And getting a few villagers right back. Like, Venreal doesn't seem too bad right here. He lost the chief, right? Did he had his second chief already? I think no, I think the attack came so early that he might even not had half his second chief right there. So maybe even didn't even lose any chiefs there. The pop of him doesn't look too bad, to be honest. What really happened there? You got a bunch of low villagers, to be honest, on high difficulty. That is something that you really wouldn't like to see. We have healers up though, like he's already going around that problem. A lot of those villagers are not really that low, so he will not take that long to actually heal them. I think he will be back on his legs pretty quickly, and Dakusin and Zeus should have quite a problem now. I can't really see if Cammy's and Venreal's eco is actually that much better, to be honest. Like, Cammy doesn't really run a lot of buildings right now. I think as a snake you're not really... you don't really need to do that. I think they pretty obviously also got ready to get an army up at that very early point, because the defense were pretty clutch, to be honest. Like, they had enough warriors at 800. This is a really early time, you gotta keep in mind. A lot of players will not even have war camps up, so they definitely got ready for that, and I think that slowed down their starting plan quite a bit. Because Venreal's base, it looks like there's a lot of buildings in there. I think Cammy has it's not really legitimized. He could have like 8 buildings right now producing food, producing gold, but he wouldn't really have the villagers to do that because it's still so early in the game. They basically got... all the teams got set back through that fight there. Everyone lost a lot of villagers and like a lot of army, and therefore also villagers. Yeah, for the game in general got set back a little bit, so I don't think it's actually too much of a problem for him, and rather a benefit, as he doesn't have too much buildings right now, and now building the next house really when he needs it, and didn't need it to pay for the house all the time before. Maybe even gives him a little bit of advantage to come back right here, because the Snake clan in general, not really one of the stronger clans when it comes to being an eco clan and staying at home. It's not even going towards Stolen Lore. Really go for mining efficiency here. I definitely want to know what the lore is Kami's aiming for. None of those lures take effect right away. I think that's why he's just thinking about what he will be actually going for. No. Let's just check the other side. I think there is something going on. Gold is slowly going up for Darkosine here, now at 120. It is pretty much on par with what Cami has right here, but we have already the upgrade with the main building. I guess that's not the most important thing, and rather that enables you to upgrade more buildings, and that's what you really would like to do as a stack clan, right? I don't know if they will be trying to do another attack. Right now he has 2 warband. They shared the camps again to get actually being able to get this big of army in such an early point. But they're actually going for the farm upgrade instead of the silo. And yeah, now setting the lore master right back. It's true, it's true. Every spawn definitely changes the builds quite a bit. You can get an idea what the clan really wants to do in general, but how you achieve that goal is oftentimes a little bit different than normally. So now I actually missed the lure for Cami going for, but that's not too bad. Let's see what they are doing right now. Checking the upper side. Now going for another tile. They really want to colonize close to Venrail there. I'm not too sure what their plan is. Their gold doesn't look like they would be able to attack at some point. But rather going for the next tile here, that seems to be more likely. Maybe getting the wood camp right there. Yeah, that seems to be his goal, to get a little bit better of a wood economy, right? Being housed right now, but with the second wood camp you will definitely get your house up a lot quicker, and all the buildings you want to build with yeah, all the buildings you want to build with houses. It's true, it's true. Must be ninja. Just right now, ghost attack for everyone in the game. That will be a rough one. It's pretty early. I guess every event in this early state of the game is not really what you would want, but not too bad in general. Checking the frame. Now we're Gucci. A little setup on the other stream. Now it's going again. So what is happening right now? 150 gold for Darkosine. The eco slowly going up, already went for the farmer's upgrade. Doesn't look too bad for him right now. You can also check the other side. Whoop. Cami having is military experience choice 3. Would also be interesting what we'll be going for. I guess in general the war cry wouldn't be too bad for Snake Clan player, huh? Like you could also get the let the horse do that, but oftentimes you can then do things with Signy alone what you couldn't do otherwise, like maybe even war cry and then try to scorch earth afterwards. It seems to be very interesting, even though that the tier 3 military experience lures are always so far away, and it's not really a given that you're gonna reach a stage of the game where it actually can get useful, right? Like oftentimes the games are gonna be over in a few pushes. But if you reach that stage, like the Warcry can definitely be worth a whole lot. And we're having... oh, okay. the other side sees that Venreal is building war camps right now. Guess a little bit panicking out that a counter-attack will be happening. I only see... I see 4 camps for Venreal. That's not an only, that's actually a good amount. To definitely defend against an attack at around this time, especially keeping in mind what happened in the very first year. Every one of the players lost a lot of villagers and pop. And therefore... got all set quite a bit, so having 8 army around this point is definitely way more than enough to deal with an incoming rush. And also the gold for a snake looks very good. We have 200 gold, that will definitely be enough to get a big bunch of skirmishers. Cost definitely quite a bit less than warriors, and you really feel that if you get a big bunch of them. Like, you would imagine that it wouldn't even be that much if you just look at the numbers, but the bigger your army gets, the more you actually feel how much less it actually is. Still didn't went for his military tree. Like, you can just keep that up as long as you can, as long as you don't need it, right? He's not really clearing out too much, he's not fighting. Why would you go for it if you then still have the choice open to maybe go for the better one in your opinion? I guess the snake also has a little bit of wiggle room right there, like they can definitely also go for the conqueror. Because later on your skirmishers will decolonize tiles just so quick that it's just gonna be conquerish with the wolf. Basically giving the military tree the right name, huh? And oh, quite interesting happening right now on the other side of the screen, because Dark Cuisine, he just clicked hero emblem. Hero emblem and confirmed, guys. He just clicked it. I saw it, you might have missed it, but it happened. For everyone who might not know, Hero Emblem is the lore of the Stag clan that enables you to build the altar for only 5 stone. So the resources also look like that. He seems to be aiming towards an altar right here. This seems to be quite dangerous, man. Like, I can't tell how Venreal is doing right there, and he were the one who got attacked there, but for Kami it doesn't look that bad, man. He has a lot of army, like potential army, that tile that is touching Venreal right there, like the tile with the 2 merchants for Venreal on, could easily be given over to Kami, and then he has 10 army, and this he definitely has the goal to get the 10 army, so maybe just 9, maybe just 8, but it will be enough to definitely do a good strike. But they can't see their opponents right now. There's no scouting, so this might actually be the reason why he decides to go for an altar right here, because they must know that they can't see him right now. Oh, he even wanted to upgrade the silo right now and just took it back. Doesn't want it. He goes all in altar, man. That's interesting, that's interesting. Will he actually be able to get that through? As soon as the altar is down, it will be on 400 fame and be giving him +2 of every resource. If they then don't get attacked like in the next half of the year or something, he will be definitely getting more and more out of this altar and helping out a bit. We can also see Zeus parking the bear on the main tile of Dark Cuisine right there. That will give all of the units of Dark Cuisine also the 15% bonus, because it doesn't only work for you, it also works for teammates, therefore helping out Dark Cuisine a whole lot right there with the bear on this tile. And he will now actually be able to place down the altar here. Crazy. Crazy, crazy. Will there be scouting coming in for Kami and Venreal? This is the important thing. I think Kami is definitely ready to deal with it. The tile is gone over to him. He starts trading right now with Venreal, and he has 10 warband. He would definitely be able to get those out. The food situation for him wouldn't look that great anymore, but he could just get the trade a little bit lower and still be able to get a good attack in. Welcome back, Mazius. Hello, hello. What did I miss? We're just already in the final, and the grand final. First game went to Kamigani. Sorry. And Venreal. Yeah. We're a pretty good game there, and we're now in the second game. And Darkusine and Zeus went for the 800 rush and seemed to have hit a good hit, because Kami and Venreal not scouting right now, and I think if they would have intel about them, like if they would see what is going on, they obviously see that the altar will be going up, but like you can still see it on the left upper part of the screen that it gets shown that unknown clan has built an altar of kings. Who could be that orange player? So if they would have if they could see what were going on the other side of the map, or rather if they would have a way open to attack them, I guess Kami would already be in and try to punish this altar decision. But they get a little bit of time here, and slowly but steadily the altar seems to be doing work. We have Darkusine on 420 fame. What is definitely pretty good already. I think he will be aiming for the 600 fame. As soon as you reach the 600 fame, the altar will be great, of course. You're gonna be basically back to the old numbers. The problem is just you're not gonna be able to get that from the start of the game anymore. Would definitely demilitarize the altar quite a bit. However, Draugr attack coming in soon. We have 3 Draugrs there on the tile from the farm. We are getting into the little bit later stages of the game, so those natural disasters are gonna go a little bit more heavy than they had been at the start of the game. Food preservation and Yod's blessing coming in, and now yeah, the altar is already upgraded. He goes for the silo is already upgraded. It's crazy, man. His eco is getting better and better, and I think the stack is really the scariest when he can get up to his full eco potential, of course. Like, the rush potential of the clan is pretty nice, and I definitely also like it quite a bit, that you are able to do things that you are yeah that you can do with the clan of the stack. A lot of clans are just not able to go that aggressive in the early parts of the game, but yeah. If the stack actually gets a little bit of time to upgrade his eco, he can just get to crazy states, man, to crazy states. We already have the altar up. We have the first merchants. We can see plus 13 gold production for him. Kami, without a feast, is on plus 8 right now, but therefore on a way better gold amount. 480 food, 480 gold for him right now in general. Also a good amount of food. And this eco in general, I wouldn't even say looks that much better. The trade is there. He has everything what he wants. Like, there's nothing really missing. The double farmer is also pretty nice, so he's not really forced onto upgrading them early. Like, you can see the food from him is still looking very good. I don't think he has too bad of a situation right there. Okay. Yeah, I definitely think going in there would have made a lot of sense. It's also like, if you don't have the scouting intel, it's not that easy to decide for it. I can imagine that if you would have scouted them somehow at some point, like, I can imagine that it were just like the moment weren't really there to make that happen. Kami actually going for the scouting right here as the Snake Clan. I can imagine that Venreal is in not too great of the shape right here. I think I underestimated the situation there a little bit. Thought he would be coming out of this rush with yeah, a pretty good amount. I'm not too sure if he actually lost the second chief. If that actually happened, that must have been a great setback, but I don't think that it actually happened. So maybe just the amount of villagers lost threw him back there a little bit. Or the amount of gold that you threw away for army, basically, that you could have really much used for the chief, but then needed for such unneeded things like surviving. Like, obviously you need the warriors. It is definitely the right decision to go for the warriors. That's not what I want to say. It's just that if you would have just had the time and the gold to go for the chief, you would have been at a way better state with this horse right now. And he maybe got delayed there a little bit through this attack. Therefore, Cammy going for the scouting right here. I don't think that this is the normal thing to do. Maybe I'm even mistaken that and the snake is always doing that. But I thought that the horse would actually usually do that. Oh yeah. Actually a little bit of time. But the amount of gold that Kami has right now is definitely pretty good. Can't really imagine how much they're on the side of Venreal, but if we go over to Darkusine right here, only around 200 gold. Getting more upgrades, already at 500 now, 500 fame. That will make his merchants in the upgraded building a lot more useful. Also the farmers will also get a little bonus there. Basically all villagers that work in upgraded buildings. Only has one upgraded silo though. Rather right now, but now found the second iron right there. I don't think he has access to a second stone, or no, he already had the second stone, he just blew it everything. We have 20, he gets 25 out of lores and fame bonuses, and then he gets 30. That's 55 stone. How much stone are we seeing? He only had one stone, yeah. It's 15, 25, 45. Oh yeah, the scout camp. Yeah, that's actually working out completely. Oh no, the scout camp is not created, huh? Yeah, I can't do math, not too important. He's going for the upgrade right there. Pretty sure that will be the warrior upgrade, while I didn't really took too much attention. But we will see it early enough when the star actually appears for the upgrade. But it seems to be the warriors. Having 200 gold ready. Just gonna drink this for a second. So, there's the silo going up for Kami. He just went for the farmer upgrade that just got ready in the very moment we jumped over. Seems to be going for a more and more healthy eco here. Like one of the most healthy ecos I've actually seen for a snake in a team game. Oftentimes the builds for the snake clan that I saw were just that reckless aggressive that you wouldn't even see that many upgrades. But Kami not having that many problems to actually go for the scout upgrade right here. Giving Venreal a little bit more breathing room to come back here. I think that's definitely the right thing to do. Because the player that got hurt so hard by the rush should definitely, yeah, you should definitely try to give him a little bit breathing room to come back into the game and get to the strength that the horse clan can definitely get to and can definitely be game deciding for your team. So now also having all the tiles scouted they need. Actually super important. Now they could go for Darkusine if they would want to. Like it's not all the tiles they need, that were a little bit of a wrong thing there, that's definitely not like that. But all the times they would need to take out one player here. And I guess that is everything you need, right? Now you would want also to see the other player, of course, that in case that you can go a little bit to left and right, like do a multi-front war, is definitely something you are looking for as Snake Clan player, because you can oftentimes just send a skirmisher here on the left and then attack on the right. There's just a lot of shenanigans possible with the Snake Clan there, why you would really want to see most entrances to your opponents just to have the chance to do that, right? Snake Clan definitely one of the clans that is the best with. I guess the Wolf Clan with the Wolf Relic would also be pretty cool, because you then can just send the wolves around, basically also like skirmishers, and try to annoy your opponent on tiles they would really not be ready for, and basically attack on another tile to just split the attention and maybe even get a tile for free, because yeah, some players might even not want to react then anymore and just focus too much on the other tile. Counter scouting also going on for Dark Cuisine there. Like I can also see 2 orange scouts making their way towards Kami, because I think on the left side with Dark Cuisine and Zeus we only have very well scouted. Not even to the fullest right now, just as much that you can basically see them. We're going up to 600 gold right now though. This is already quite a good gold amount here, and as Stag, I don't feel like he's gonna have too much problems to get that gold back. Problem is definitely he doesn't have recruitment, and I don't see any skulls right now. Like he's getting a quite good amount of happiness out of the altar, and the silos he has up. That will definitely help him quite a bit. But no skulls. Definitely, like, you don't need to pay for the Hall of Skulls. This is the good thing. But the bad thing is you're just missing the happiness to repop, right? If you don't have the recruitment. He might prove me wrong right here. Because his eco state right now is really not looking bad. And I wouldn't have imagined that he could have actually reached this point right here. Now having the altar up and really going towards the 600 fame mark, from which the altar is just going to be carrying hard here throughout the game. Will be really interesting to see which eco states he can actually be able to reach in this game here, with slowly getting scouted by Kami here. They already have most of both bases scouted out, and there's a big amount of villagers running around, and I don't think that is a misclick, and rather there's army incoming. We have a feast on the other side, so the attack might even come at a very fortunate timing here in the middle of a feast. Yes, it will. This is such a great timing. We have the games exactly synced up, so the feast actually started in the very same moment. Like, yeah, we have the videos exactly synced up, so the feast will still go for like 40 seconds here. And in that time you just have a snake on the other side. Like, you don't really want to react to that, and I think that were basically what I was talking about. That's why you want to see most of the tiles of your opponent as a snake, because you might just hit the moment where your opponent says, okay, then I guess the tile is gone. I guess the Scorched Earth also did his work with it, that they don't really want to fight on it. But that gives them a little bit of an entrance into the bases, makes clear that we are here to fight. But 800 gold for Dark Cuisine. Also pretty good. Just doesn't really have the warband right now. But we could see, oh, a lot of shield bearers coming there for Zeus. Let's see, like here, you can see it a little bit clearer. A little bit of army for Dark Cuisine right here. Still a huge amount of gold. He's building a camp on the lower side there. I can only imagine that we'll also get an extra camp and a... Okay, can we going on this tile? I think this is enough warriors to deal with this, isn't it? We have 8 No, I don't think. No. This is 13 skirmishers against 8 warriors. That shouldn't ever work. Kami here, clearly the upper hand in this fight. Well, 10 warriors. 10 warriors doesn't sound too bad already. Well, I still think that the Snake Clan will be able to win this fight. Now with Zeus coming back in to help, should definitely be the Snake Clan running away right here. And going right back into the other tile. They're trying to attack Benriel. Benriel definitely also sending in a big amount of villagers over there, trying to defend the tile. I don't think he will have enough time to go for the front tile there anymore. Shouldn't be too much of a problem. Let's see what is going on Kami. He's just going into the tile of Zeus right there, making more pressure. Zeus tries to stall a little bit of time there with the bear. I wouldn't really know how the fight would end up with the shield bearers and we have a fight happening on the other side. Now on the Scorched Earth tile, would you want to fight the stack? I don't really think you want, huh? Keeping running away. And now we will see Darkusin and Zeus aiming for Venrail again. Venrail's army already in Darkusin's start right there. We have Kami also coming within, and that would be a fair fight. Darkusin and Zeus don't want to take it. I don't even think they would. It's hard to say. Kami has really a great army there. Like, he's still on 11 right now, but is definitely quite good. I can't really say. Oh, 13 for Darkusin now. That's actually looking better and better. Can't really say how much shield bearers that are. I guess around 12, but they will be taking the fight, and I think they are right doing so. Going back. As soon as Scorched Earth hit, they leave the tile, so they don't have too much of a disadvantage fighting there. Definitely got a good amount of good fight out of that, and now more army coming out for Darkusin. I think they can feel very good taking this next fight here. They should be able to clear out the army of Venrail and Kami there, and maybe even have enough for a counter-attack. Like, this doesn't look too bad just from the army. They will be hunting chiefs, and those chiefs will fall. Or will the warriors? Oh no! Oh yeah, the war chief will actually die. That would have actually been criminal if the war chiefs would have been able to run away there, keeping in mind that the war chief of Venrail the last game with like 3 warriors and full HP weren't. But that were definitely a pretty good fight right there. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. No, will Signy fall? No! All of the war chiefs actually down for Kami and Venrail. This is hurtful, man. Like we heard right now in chat, Kami and Venrail actually missed the reconversion of the stack. I wouldn't have been too ready for that, man. If somebody rushed me in 800 and then I go for him like a few years later, I'm not really ready for him having that much gold. More than he didn't have more gold than you. That is actually wrong. But that much gold that he can get that amount of army and then actually repop some army right away. I would have been never ready for that, to be honest. And he also did that a little sneakily, right? He had a few villagers in that tile. It weren't too obvious that they were just converted into warriors. And now they are able to push into Venrail's tile there. Here we can see that Kami is actually... we can't really see it right now. Bringing over the reinforcements, and... okay, the tower just went down. They weren't actually too bad to go in there trying to get one or another pick, but since the tower just went down in the very moment, everything would have been focused on the other side. And we have the fight happening. I think this will actually go towards Kami and Venrail, huh? Kami's looking way better for them right here. And yeah, they will be able to get rid of them. Maybe pushing themselves back at the very moment now. We can see Kami still with 300 gold here. His warband is way, like, not even close to his maximum. He could get a lot more army if he wanted to. But I think he's actually waiting for Kami coming back right there. And yeah, we can just hear Darkusin trying to out micro there a little bit, like the out clicking out of the tile and clicking back in, to not let the tile get decolonized right away. We have 1,700 military experience for Darkusin and 1,200 for Kami. So I guess the last the tier 3 military experience things abilities aren't actually that far away anymore. We definitely have Conqueror for Darkusin right now, so they should definitely be on the attacking side, but oftentimes when they try to attack, Kami will just come and run into one of the other tiles, and they then need to react for that and defend again. Definitely not easy, the decision making right now. This is a little bit unfortunate, losing the farmers there on the side tile, but in the end it were the low farmers. Like, this were definitely on purpose that he lost those, of course. but you don't have villagers working on that tile, and you would really want to have that. But he's getting them right away right now. Would get a third farmer, but I think he's straight up missing the wills to make that happen. That's why he just has the 2 farmers on there. Otherwise he would have no one going for wood anymore. I don't know if that would be the thing he would be really looking for. I'm pretty sure that the next villager will go straight up to the other one. It's right now. The market. Another market there. He definitely went coinage, huh? So... I don't know. I guess he just wants to trade a little bit more. I don't even think his gold economy is looking too bad, to be honest, right? Plus 19. I don't think that's too shabby. Definitely not. Just thinking about clearing out those yacht now. I don't know if somebody is trading with them. I don't think that Kami is. He may be. Like, he has 3 trading posts. Venreal might be very well. I think he has a few more. So it could be a little bit of a bummer for them to lose to Jotnar right now. I think they're mostly doing it because of the military experience and the fame that they will be getting out of it. And Darkosin reached the 600 fame mark, by the way. That is a +3 altar, and now it's 7. Whoa! Okay. This is a lot. Closing in on the 800 now. I guess it's just a little bit of feasting or upgrades. He could actually feast. He might be even doing that after the winter. And that would just bring it up to such an insane amount of altar income. +4, man. There's no maximum on that anymore. Oh yeah, I think the bear actually went ships in this game. But for the Stag clan you actually want to upgrade the merchants because you get 10% higher production for people that work in upgraded buildings. Then you also, the merchant upgrade will stack if you build a market and a trading post in the same tile. This is both merchants buildings, so if you upgrade one of those, you will upgrade all the merchants in this tile. So basically, it's not exactly like that, but basically get +40% if you're upgrading a trading post and a marketplace, just to make it a little bit understandable. Then also upgrade them on top and you just get super strong gold production out of that merchants, way higher than you could ever get out of sailors. But you're missing the lore production, and with +6 lore, Darkosin definitely not on that path too high. But if we look over to Kami, also not too high right there. Don't think he values the lore all too high as the Snake clan. There are definitely a few lores that you would like to have. You can see him right here setting his opponent under pressure. Zeus really seems like he was pushed into a corner. It's just the lore for the Snake clan. It's called Under Pressure. You will get 10% bonus attack on your skirmishers, I think. 10 or 20, not 100% sure. I think it were 10. And when you have skirmishers right next to your opponent, like in the tile right next to your opponent, every one of that skirmishers will give you +1 food production. This is not that much, considering that the villager will consume 3 in high difficulty. Maybe just a tiny bit less, maybe 2.8 or something. But it will definitely help you out, also keeping that army up. Oh, +20% for skirms, +10% for other units. Thanks a lot, Kami. That's nice to know, that's nice to know. Now I also know where my error in thinking came there. So yeah, that definitely also makes sense, because so much players like to go for the skirmishers on the Snake, and with the 20% bonus there you're also like a little bit pushed into the direction, of course. Because definitely makes them quite a bit more useful and quite a bit more strong. Right now, we were like Darkosin, we were thinking about getting a lot more army to fight against this. I think that Kami will just run out and not have anything to do with this fight. Afterwards, they want to clear out the Draugrs right next to the tile. Kami doesn't really want that. Rather wants to go into the tile. Deny them the Draugrs. Be a little bit annoying. Let them have their army out without really doing something other than like hunting me. It's always pretty nice. Waking up the dragon. Yeah, just skirmishers, so he goes back to sleep. Doesn't really care about that. Skirmishers don't taste that good. I think that's the thing about that. Well, he doesn't really eat. I don't know. I guess the dragon just likes to set things on fire. It basically also explains the general playstyle of Dragon Clan. You just like to see the world burn, don't you? Just right now. The side needs to react for Kami being that aggressive right now. And that's what I mean. This is just what it can do for you if you are a snake. On the upper side, you can also see that Venreal is actually sending more and more warriors in on the upper side there. You can see that. Damn it, he's just going down there, but you can see that here on the upper part of the screen that he just sent quite a few in there. You can also see that a few tiles on the front actually belong to Venreal there. That's pretty fun to see, I think. Like if you look on the mini-map, you can see that 2 tiles in front of Kami's eco are basically belonging to Venreal. It's a pretty fun picture. Nice to see that. Can't even imagine how that happened. I guess they just switched tiles back and forward. And this is how they ended up with. That looks pretty cool. Just right now. Going the back way, and Darkusine and Zeus are coming right back in here in the upper town. Kami running back into their territory, trying to set them under pressure here. And I guess we could go right into a base trade situation. It really depends on how the people react right now. Kami goes straight for the next tiles. Kami will need 2 tiles until he is in the main tile, right? No, he just needs that tile and then he's straight in the main. They will need 2 tiles. Will they need 2 tiles? No, they would also be straight into their main tile. So I think they actually had a pretty good chance for the base race right here, but Kami would have been a little bit quicker and therefore they decide against it and they actually come back. Deciding to fight against Kami right here. Not keeping the aggression going on. Also keeping in mind they have Conqueror, so the Bloodbath bonus would definitely help them quite a bit here if they would go in the aggressive position of this game. But just right now they decided to go back into the defense. There we see a lot of army also coming in from Venreal. They seem to have seen some axes already, but definitely the number still scary enough to make something happen there. And he will... Oh, Darkusine wanted to get a few snacks right there, but it didn't happen. If he would have done that, Kami would have just joined into the fight, and I guess he would have lost way more than he won with this little hit. So I think good call on it, deciding against that and not doing it. Can now see also the army coming in from Zeus. Does look like a good amount. Looks like it would be enough to defend against it. It's actually less than I expected. How much is it? I guess in total 8 or 9 army for Zeus. And we have the fight happening right now. They actually decide to go in again. Holy. Holy, holy. I can't really say what will happen here. They also keep on fighting even though the Scorched Earth is through. Will this fight actually go for Darkusine and Zeus? I can't imagine so. There's so many benefits for Venreal and Kami in this tile, and they will actually win the fight right there. Venreal also bringing his war chiefs back to the front right now. Can definitely think about now going for the food tile of Darkusine right there, setting it a little bit more under pressure. And definitely being in a pretty good position right now, being that deep into the base of your opponent. The Scorched Earth just in cooldown, so can't really go for that right now. But pretty soon he will be able to scorch earth farm tiles that are pretty important for Dark Cuisine. So I think a really good position for the snake and horse right now. Oh, another unfortunate wolf attack. I guess it's not too much of a problem playing actually the snake clan. Of course, definitely a very mobile clan. But oh my god, the fight. I think they would have actually been better off if they would have gone back. But it seems to be big enough, right? It seems to be big enough. Or, like, I see so many yellow and purple bars that I think like this fight must be going towards them. Also getting a lot of damage onto the shield maiden right there. And man, that really looks like a strong advantage for Kami and Venril right now. If they decolonize the farm there, it will already be hurtful enough because he will need to get the tile back. Oh yeah, we already heard a little bit these things still going on. No tower on the main tile. Oh, Scorched Earth is getting ready in not too long of time. Will they actually be able to lock that down here with the very attack? We have 4 army for Kami. This is not a whole lot. There's a little bit of fighting going on, but now there's the main fight. Is that a main fight? No, Kami's still on the other tile dealing with that one warrior. Venril's trying to not go too deep for the fight, and they will actually be able to defend it right here. One war chief for Venril running right back, and Signy also not wanting to deal with that anymore, trying to also deny the farm tile there. No, actually going home. Like, already lost a Signy to upgraded warriors. Definitely feel that he doesn't want that to happen again. But that's why Dark Cuisine will be going right back for that farm here without having too much problems. There's a lot of wood still in this stock, so you will definitely be able to repair those buildings rather early than late. The silo is also right back up. Not even that important. I think the silo was still generating food for him even though it were burning. But just right now, I think his focus is definitely not food anyway. He will try to get as much gold as even possible, so he can get another army in case there will be the next push with the opponents. Only 8 population here for Dark Cuisine, what I think is pretty rough. He has 14 happiness though. 14 happiness. He doesn't have a single skull. Where's all this happiness coming from, man? Well, I guess we shouldn't ask and just be happy for Dark Cuisine that he can quickly get more. Well, he has an 800 altar, so he's getting +4 of every resource right now. That is pretty clutch. I guess that will help him quite a bit right now. You can see in general his economy is definitely not looking too shabby. The blizzard is now coming in. He doesn't look too hurt of that. Let's look to the other side. Kami also seems to be pretty ready, losing a lot of food, but this is definitely not something like Blizzard is meant for you to lose a lot of food, so definitely not too much of a problem here. Definitely has the food stock to work with that, and the wood will definitely also be enough throughout the winter to go through it. Nah, when you build that right now, that wouldn't... I see. He's just building that forge, so he's like using all the wood right now. Then he waits 2 weeks until the villagers would start freezing, and then he destroys it while he gets the aggressive going right there. With this little forge trick, you will basically save a little bit of wood through the winter time. In the end, if you just would let it running right now, like lose all the wood as normally, like not building the forge there, he now in the very moment, few seconds soon, he won't have... Oh, this is actually a nice fight for him. This again, a lot of kills. I don't think the skirmishers, losing the skirmishers here will be too much of a problem, and yeah, it's just great for Kami right here. And now he has no wood anymore, the villagers start freezing slowly, and now he will destroy the forge. You know that there's now a few moments between that he didn't need it to pay Yeah, he didn't lose any wood there, even though he could have enough to go through the winter there. No, like he's saving a little bit of wood like that. I guess you can imagine how that works. Now trying to get a little bit of aggression there, not letting him back onto the tile. Getting a little bit of damage in onto the shield maiden and the war chief. I can only hardly say how much HP there. Oh no, I can actually see it on the lower part of the screen. There's quite a bit of HP for Signy. We go right here. Also see that the war chief on the upper side is also kind of low. That might, if there wouldn't be no warriors coming in right now, they would actually be in danger of losing the tile right there. Even though that he can't really use the farm anyway, right? Like this, it is scorched. He won't get a lot of economy out of this farm. So it's basically just about saving this tile. So yeah, he can theoretically going for it again. But the thing is theoretically, because in practical sense, the snake will just be on the tile all the time and just scorch and scorch and scorch, and you will never be really getting the food that you would be getting out of that. That's why I think that Venril and Kami got onto that tile is so important, but now because now Dakusin will really have a big problem to get his food economy that he would really like out of this tile. Like he can always run back onto the tile, just re-scorch it and make the tile basically useless for Dakusin. Just right now. Yeah. Dakusin wants to run out. Kami on the top side, again frightening. Hey, as soon as you go there, I come back. Just keep that in mind. I'm here. And Venrail is also coming in with a little bit more army. This is definitely a good amount. I don't know how much army Zeus will be having right now, if he will be able to defend against that. Taking a little bit damage, I would say unnecessarily. But, oh no, yeah, he got the Scorched Earth ready again. He just wants to take a little bit. Oh! We had a little skits on the Scorched Earth for Kami right there. Now blocked by the tile decolonization. No, we have a lot of gold for Dakusin, to be honest. He might be able to get a good amount of warriors here. He already has 3. We'll be going up to around 8, I guess. For Kami we have 7. 7 plus Skirn, Signy. Here we go with the 9. Fight happening. I again think like these strong advantages on the side of Kami and Venril here, because they have the Scorched Earth tile. The Snake Clan will get so much bonus damage, but I think Zeus just had enough shield bearers, right? Like obviously also a lot of army for Dakusin here, but they were actually able to get rid of this army, man. It's crazy. They should have so much disadvantages against them on that tile there, but they still win the fight. Pretty good. Now going right back for the counter attack, hoping to make some something happen. 5 warriors here for Dakusin, I think. Oh, there's no tower on that tile, so they can just go straight for it. A bit of pinging on the other side. Oh, they still didn't scout the other side. So they can't really go for Kami. The only tile that really is open to them is Venril right here. They don't really see if Kami is pulling in new army to help them out. But we can. But we can, and he isn't. Yeah, he's pulling 3 skirmishers over here. I don't think that's quite enough, but he can pop one or another right now, since he definitely has a little bit of gold still banked up. For a few skirmishers, that's always enough. You don't need that much gold for them. They're very chilled guys. They don't need that much money. And now we will be pushing it back on the other side again. Kami seems to be splitting up. No, decided against it. I don't know if it's worth to already go for the tile again. Well, the war chiefs are healed. Maybe it is actually worth. Scorched Earth is also coming back in again. I'm pretty sure he would like to refresh that on the farm to really make it useless. And you can see up there Kami just having the farmers right there. His farmers will be actually working, even though he doesn't really have enough pop. Yeah, now he actually has enough pop to get 3 farmers. I saw him before not having enough pop to do that. But just right now he has enough. But in general, his farm is working. And the farm of Darkosine is not working for what now? Like half a year? 9 months? The farm is just like under perma fighting, and he never really can get the food out of it, what he would really want to trade away. I guess he gets enough out of the silos right now, but it's really not what you would want. Going right for the fight here. I don't know if you really want to take that 2v1. Oh, is that the throw right here? What? Will that work out? There's more coming in from Zeus, but it's only 3 shield bearers. There's also more army coming in from Kami and Venreal from the upper side. You can see always one or another warrior coming in right there. But... it really looks like Kami and Venreal have that fight here, huh? It looks really favorable. Really, Kami also getting a few more skirms now into the front, and it seems like that would actually be the last push of the game. I don't think there's enough tempo in Darkosine and Zeus to actually bring that back here. Like, oh yeah. Now scorching the farm tile yet again, but he doesn't even need to. I think he skipped that on purpose, because now you can actually think about also scorching the main tile of them, but seeing more shield bearers coming in from Zeus' side, he actually decides to go for this tile again, because they will pretty obviously fight on this tile. Just let the last skirmishers come in to actually give you the highest advantage you can possibly have, and then try to go for this fight that will actually happen. And there is the shield maiden surviving, just barely. But that could actually be worth a lot if they're able to bring that back here. Yeah, they have 3 warriors. It's actually not working out for Kami and Venreal here. I saw this fight so much in the advantage of them, but it didn't really work out. Venreal now war crying to save his war chiefs right there. Pretty clutch. Definitely nice action there to save his war chief and making sure to not lose them. Definitely made sense to go for the tactician tree there for him. I'm pretty sure that Kami didn't went for it, because I can't see the bodyguard on Signy. So pretty sure that Kami went for the Conqueror tree. Is now on 2,977 military experience. So a few more kills and he will actually be getting the veteran fighters for his skirmishers. What will not give them more HP, like for example Darkosine has the higher HP on the warriors right now, just gives them straight up 20 more HP per warrior. Or 10 more HP, sorry, didn't want to overdo that. I think 10 more HP per warrior. And the Snake Clan will actually get a faster decolonization speed for every skirmisher you have in the town. And that can definitely add up to quite a substantial amount there. Just right now, I think the fight is definitely on the side of Venreal and Kami here. They're just going for the last ones here. And I don't know if they will be going for the next one. No, he actually went for the tactician tree here. Now unlocking the war cry. He just... I might have just missed the bodyguards. The bodyguard of him is actually also on cooldown, so he's definitely using it. I'm just missing it. So definitely also went for the tactician tree. Double war cry on that team. You cannot take advantage of that 2 times. And he's actually using the farmers on that tile. Is that still worth? It must be still worth, otherwise he wouldn't be doing it. But man, it's such a bummer. It's like 30? I don't even know the exact number anymore. That Scorch Earth will reduce your eco from that you send on it. I can just tell you, it is not worth anymore to have any EQ on there. Now, getting a few of the skirmishers there right back into the dragon tile. I think the thought process again, obviously, setting Zeus under pressure. The 4 skirmishers from Kami giving him 4. Now also Signy on there, like sending the people one by one into his main tile so he can heal them. And when he then sends the other unit into the other tile, he gets them back. into the dragon tile, because this tile is actually touching the tile of Zeus. And when you touch a tile, then basically if you're to adjacent tile to one of your opponents, your skirmishers will give you +1 food, and I think half of a happiness. I think it's half of a happiness, so we can also see a pretty good happiness amount for Kami right here, even though his army isn't really that big. We can see the both chiefs of Venril there passing by, both of their bodyguards. They are safe, man. Kami now getting rid of the sick skirmisher. So we have one more merchant sick. I don't know. Yeah, he's sending one of the healers away, because basically if you would have 2 healers healing 1 sick villager, they will both be healing for all the time, but 1 healer is generally enough to heal against the sickness, so it doesn't really make sense to have that. And slowly all of the cooldowns for Signy are also coming back. Like, you have so many different abilities on this war chief right now. Actually pretty interesting. Like, you have the Scorched Earth, you have the bodyguard, and you have the war cry. Just gotta keep in mind that after you war cried in a tile, you cannot war cry in there for another 30 seconds or a minute, so it doesn't really give you too much to have multiple war cries in your team anymore. And I think that, yeah, I'm 100% sure that Venril also has the war cry here. So I don't know. I don't think it's a bad decision though. They can definitely work with it. I guess it should be quite worthy. 806. 810 rush almost here. Yeah, man. Let's go. 810. We can make it happen right here. Definitely a quite close game though. Trying, like, any mistake on the sides of one of the players would have definitely ended the game right here. But they definitely, like Darkusin and Zeus, definitely know which fights they take right here. They don't take all too bad fights here, and therefore they are still in the game. They were able to get the rush out in the early game, weren't really able to make it count. Like, they definitely did a good amount of damage on Venril right here. He took a little bit of time to get back into the game. But other than that, they were really able to recover really good, and yeah, still make such a long game happen here in the end. That is really crazy, man. Also, oh my god, there's the army coming up. We can already see it, huh? We can already see it. There's a huge army going up for Venril and Kami. I think this might be the end of the game right here. But however, I think that's the 6th time I think this in this game, right? So more and more warriors coming in for Venril. We have 8 warriors from Darkusin. That's actually quite a good. 10. I think it's gonna end up at 12. 12 warriors for Darkusin right here. 11 skirmishers for Kami. I actually think that the number of warriors for Venril are a little bit higher as the number of skirmishers for Kami here. Just from the bars that I see. And we have a fight going on again. There's no Scorched Earth going on right now. So it is actually a fair fight. But it seems... yeah, the army of Darkusin just completely evaporated. Not too many shield bearers anymore for Zeus, and I think that must be it, right? There's still 10 skirmishers alive for Kami. I think again for Venril it's even more army, and that seems to be the end of the game if there's not any ace that they can pull out of their pants right now. Basically, we can see that the gold amount for Darkusin is not that high. Yeah, it's most of the economies of Kami and Venril in there, so they definitely also want this to be the all-in push and the game-ending push, basically. And I feel like they have succeeded. I don't want to call it right now because there is so many occasions already where we're wrong about calling it, but I feel like this must be the end of the game because the army is just too big, right? They're trying to play the tile dance game again. Venreal and Cammy are not having it, and they're taking the fight right away. There's the first war cry coming in, just worth so much. The veteran fighters for Darkusine definitely also do quite a bit of work, but there's the GG from Darkusine. And actually the second game going to Liar Nev has no hair. What a game, man. What a game. Crazy, crazy, crazy how long that actually went. Just gonna go here to the mid screen because I think we're also gonna see the statistics right there. No, we aren't. So we're just gonna buy to the left screen because there we have them. Yeah, GG's. Definitely congratulations for the second game for Cammy and Venreal. Now only setting them one game afar from the next tournament. Yeah, basically there's no next game though. From winning the Road to Valhalla tournament here. That is actually pretty close. Darkusine and Zeus definitely need to find a really good way here to find back into the game, because they still have a chance of winning this tournament, but for doing that they would now need to win 3 games in a row, what must be pretty hard also psychologically, just getting through with that you now would need to basically play completely without mistakes. But this game definitely not too bad. We saw an 800 rush here. Like, let's look at the amount of gold that were at their side at the start of the game just to get that army out. I don't know if we might be able to go for the warband screen. There we see. Like, we had basically the big bash at the start of the game. And then later on we had a little bit of silence happening throughout the game. Seeing the silent before the storm, because afterwards it were just a big fight blob just going back and forward. Pretty insane. But here in the start of the game we had a little bit of the breaker that then slowed down the game afterwards a little bit. I think if Venreal and Cammy would have had a chance to attack in around this window, they would have actually been able to close out the game, just because of the amount of army and gold, like warband and gold Cammy had right there. I think he would have been able to get enough pressure going to at least stall out Darkusine and Zeus quite a bit. Maybe not let them build the tower, not build the altar, and therefore close out the game a lot quicker. But that didn't happen. Therefore, Darkusine had a really good comeback right there. And I think what it actually came down to were the missing recruitment for Stack. Like, also no real compensation there with skulls, but honestly he had 15 happiness when the villagers were down there, so he definitely had enough happiness to came through there. It's just pretty hard if you don't have the recruitment going for you and the other clans have. Like, you're gonna have quite a problem with repopping. Don't know if you're gonna go onto the pop screen here. Holy moly. Gonna go through the statistics here, because some players, it's just an insane amount of army out there. Never really went up to the 20 or something, but already a really, really good amount of army there. And not too bad too.